headline news.
Well, some news we expected, but it is now official. The Rams announced that they have agreed to a 5-year extension with Jalen Ramsey. The deal is worth $105 million, which is the largest ever for a cornerback.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of dough for a corner.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
But, you know, the Rams, they like to pay people a lot of money.
Well, they're a go-forward organization, Joy. This is not St. Louis. LeBron, Kawhi, Dodgers, Beach. I mean, this is a USC.
I don't mind it.
No, I mean,
I think it was a successful idea. They made it to the Super Bowl. For all these teams that are concerned, the Rams were just in the Super Bowl a few years ago, so
Yeah.
it's not the worst plan.
You know, I think in Los Angeles, you have to be honest about where you're at.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, you don't make this deal. You don't. What's the point? In Los Angeles, you are competing as a franchise against the Lakers, the Dodgers, two very popular MLS teams. In this town, this matters. The Beach.
Yeah.
Major college universities with alma mater alumni everywhere. And the Rams are saying, we're going to build the world's best stadium, and we're going to get stars and go for it. And I got to be honest, I do worry about their depth in certain spots. But I think Los Angeles, a little bit, is forcing the issue here. We're in a crowded market. Consumers have options. They're distracted. We got to go for it.
That's Los Angeles, though. I think you have to be the brand of the city that you're in. All those things that you said are absolutely true. But also, when you acquired Jalen Ramsey, you knew he was going to get a deal.
Right.
So it's not like a surprise. I mean, he talked about it on Hard Knocks. Reporters kept asking him, and he's like, a deal. I knew that when I came here,
Right.
that I was going to get paid. I'm going to let my agents and the front office deal with it, and as they're supposed to. That's their job, and I'm going to play football. And he got paid as he's supposed to.
When he's engaged, he's great. A couple times last year, he's seen when he's engaged, he's an unbelievable player.
I don't really know how much I'm going to hold last year against the Rams. Like, you have them in your herd hierarchy.
Yes, I do.
I think they're going to be a lot better than people think they are.
You know, it's funny that because they got so white hot with McVay and Boy Wonder and Super Bowl, that because they didn't follow it up, we just crushed them. No, crush Atlanta. They went from the Super Bowl to a mess.
Right.
Rams in the best division in football were 9-7, close to 10-6, and considering the injuries, they were fine. They were in the playoff race late. They were fine.
It's really, really hard to get to the Super Bowl. It's also, because it's so hard to get, he's $71.2 million at signing, is also the largest guarantee ever for a defensive back. So he's happy at the bank today. So my gentlemanly outfit, it was a gentleman's sweep. You know, you have to be respectful of the MVP and the #1 team in the NBA.
Very clever.
When you excuse them from the playoffs. So
That's why you wore.
Yes, I thought I would wear my gentleman's outfit today. The Bucks are headed home. They lost the series to the Heat 4-1. Admittedly, as a Heat fan, I was trying to be realistic about the situation. I did not think that the Heat were going to beat Giannis and the Bucks because they weren't supposed to beat Giannis and the Bucks.
Most people didn't.
But Giannis obviously had a major injury, which is unfortunate. You want to beat a team at their best.
Yeah, but they were going to beat them beyond that. Giannis.
Yes. No. I mean, no. The
Miami
injury
was the better
of course,
team.
Yeah, they were the better team up 3-0. Like, it was, the series was over anyway. But Giannis is slated to be a free agent in 2021, and that could change the face of the league if he decides to leave Milwaukee. But he has insisted he won't force his way out.
Okay.
And he was asked if he would consider requesting a trade with 1 year left on his contract. Giannis told Chris Haynes, "It's not happening. That's not happening. Some see a wall and go in another direction. We just have to get better as a team, individually, and get right back at it next season."
I like the quote. I like it. I think it's a great quote. I don't know if I do that, but I do think it's a,
it's a great quote. It's a bit strong.
It is. For considering you just lost, what else were you going to say?
No, I of course. He's not going to get out there and be like, "I'm leaving, I'm asking for a trade tomorrow." And we're going to ask those questions after the series. Like, Chris has to ask that question. But Giannis going that far, like, if you end up leaving, it's like that's one of those quotes. It's like people are going to pull up, and who cares, right? If you leave, it doesn't really matter. But it is a bit strong. He's eligible for a Supermax extension this offseason. It's the second straight season that the Bucks have entered the postseason with the NBA's best record and failed to advance to the NBA Finals.
I'm kind of getting over being told I have to respect Milwaukee. I'm kind of over it. By the way, Miami and Boston have better young players than Milwaukee, so I'm over hearing about the Bucks.
No, the Bucks are Raptors, if that makes sense.
Right.
The Bucks are the Raptors before Kawhi.
Or the Sacramento Kings, and the Lakers kept beating them. Like, you get a couple years to tell me you're going to be the next great thing. Well, then be the next great thing. I'm over it.
You have the opportunity to compete and prove everyone that you're the best. And that's That's an unacceptable end to the season for the Bucks. If they didn't win the finals, it was really unacceptable considering everything that we've been talking about with the Bucks and Giannis this year. But that, getting a gentleman's sweep in the second round, you didn't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Thank you.
Giannis is getting... he feels similar to me to how KD was in OKC. He's getting a little bit of a pass because he's great and he's super likable, but eventually he's either going to a dignified franchise, but we don't talk about you in the actual conversation for a contender.
Yes.
And congrats, you've had a nice career. Thank you for entertaining us. You're a great player, but we are not putting you in the category of the best in the league.
Thank you.
And you can absolutely. And I won't hold it against you, but there's different ways that you're covered, and there's different ways that fans respect you. Because if you're competing for a championship, you have to go out there and win it.
Yeah.
Like, you have the opportunity, like everyone else, to do that.
He's not winning playoff series in the East. LeBron's winning them in the West and the East.
And that's all.
And the
That's
finals.
all anyone could say about LeBron. Oh, what's he doing in the East?
West.
He's walking to the finals in the East. Oh, the Heat, they're just blowing through the East. Doesn't mean anything. It's the East. Well,
It's out West.
yeah. Finally, Billy Donovan and the Thunder have mutually agreed to part ways. In each of Donovan's 5 seasons as head coach, the Thunder had a winning record and made it to the playoffs. He won more than 60% of his games as the team's head coach.
Yeah.
And was voted co-coach of the year this season by all of his fellow NBA coaches.
Yeah, when your people in your industry are like, that's the guy, maybe you're pretty good.
They had an incredible season.
Unbelievable. We thought Chris Paul was shot. We thought they were tanking. We thought they were a 15-win team.
This feels more like Billy Donovan wanted to
I'm hearing
depart.
Billy Donovan and maybe somebody around Billy Donovan was like done with OKC.
It feels like that because what are the Thunder doing letting Billy Donovan
I would
go?
hire him in 1 second.
So reportedly the Bulls and the 76ers are expected to have interest in him as a head coach. The Pelicans and the Pacers are also looking for a head coach.
The last great college basketball team he coached. Remember that Florida team that had 4 NBA guys? They all came back. So he's the last great college basketball coach that built a mini dynasty, the last great college basketball team this year in the NBA. The process lasted forever. This was supposed to be the beginning of a tank job.
Yep.
And they had the second or best record in the NBA in December. I mean, it's one of the great coaching jobs in the last half decade.
He's had some questions about him.
Yes, yeah, sure.
But I think this year kind of
Answered
put that to rest. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to have his, if he wants to continue coaching, which I'm assuming he does, he's going to have his choice of one of these organizations that I'm sure they're all going to go.
Stuff, Joy, a gentleman's sweep.